Good morning, Max. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's lovely to see you. Now, of course, the big story for you is the knee.
Yes.
And it's got in front of me something I've never heard of, a medial collateral ligament.
You've never heard of a medial?
MCL.
Yeah, I never heard of the collateral
I didn't know
bit.
collateral was
No,
the
I didn't know what collateral.
Yeah, to be fair, I actually had it spelt it out before.
Yeah.
It's the better of the
It's
knee
the
injury.
better of the
It can
two.
be bad. There's so many. I've done everything possible to do to your knee.
Yeah.
MCL, meniscus, PCL, ACL.
But that was your other knee, wasn't it?
Yeah, this one I've done my medial before.
Right, okay.
So hence why there was a bit of confusion when I first did it, because you can't really tell. I might have re-aggravated scar tissue, or I might have done the big one, the ACL. But
So straight after the injury, you're down in the rooms and there's a bit of talk that it might have been an ACL.
the word ACL got thrown up,
And
which
you
is
were
not
like,
a great.
And you're thinking, oh, there goes the whole year.
Sorry, not the word, the acronym ACL.
Initialism, I think.
God, I don't even know what that's anterior crucial ligament, isn't it?
Cruciate?
Yeah, whatever it is.
And so you're thinking, I've done it.
Yeah, well, when two or three people down there in the room said they can't rule it out.
Right.
I had a little moment to myself there in the first quarter, which apparently wasn't the best thing to do, according to
Grant
some
Thomas has
critics.
given you a bake. His tweet was possibly wouldn't have changed much, but Gawn sooking downstairs instead of icing on the bench, connecting with the team he's captain of didn't help.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I should have pissed myself laughing when I heard
exactly.
ACL.
Yeah, to be fair, you're thinking ACL.
Yep.
In the words of Grant Thomas, you're having a sook, which I didn't think. So I thought,
Thank you.
I reckon it's better to be down there feeling the way that you were, regrouping before you get back up on the bench.
Exactly.
Well, once I sort of got it all told to me and we worked out, we did a fitness test down there in the rooms as well to see if I can come back on. Then I put some ice on my knee and there was 2 minutes to go till quarter time. So I thought I'd just sit down here.
Absolutely.
Happened to be right in the middle of the Channel 7 camera, which
Yeah.
I didn't mean to, but
Yeah.
and then made my way out on the ground. And I wanted it to be the shortest game possible, and it ended up being the longest game
Yeah.
in history because
Yeah.
the lights
Because the lights went off and you had another 40 minutes in the sheds
And then-
pretending everything's okay.
The couple of Brisbane boys wanted to come have a chat during that light break. I didn't want to borrow that, but
Of course.
they're good boys. Like I
What,
joke.
literally wanted to come in and say g'day?
Oh well,
See
they
if
wanted
he's
to
all
see
right.
if I was all right.
Yeah, right, okay.
I do know Joe Danaher and Jack Gunston a little bit, so they were, I think, genuinely worried about what was going on. But I didn't want to be there post those lights going
No.
out. I was
No.
just, I mean, Bailey Fritsch is he's got an electrical company. He's a part-time electrician. He said the sound that light pole made means the lights won't come on for a week, and they came on 20 minutes later. So his company's
Yeah, well, he might not be your guy. Certainly one of his partners could help. Do you reckon there's a learning out of discussing with elite athletes at the time what the injury looks like it's going to be, rather than waiting that extra sort of 24 hours to see a scan? Would you have preferred them to say, mate, I'm not entirely sure what it is. Tell you what we'll do, we'll whack some ice on it, we'll sit you on the bench just to be safe because you're elite talent.
To be fair, they did lean towards your second point there. But if I had done my ACL and they had diagnosed it as just a bone bruise, I would have been furious as well. So you can't win
Yeah.
in that situation. They just didn't rule it out, but that means like they're trying to give me bad news the best way possible. That's how I read it.
Of course, because that's your narrative and you're starting to scenario build, thinking you're going to spend a lot of time at the park with the 18-month-old.
The doctor, when she first tested it, she actually didn't say a word and then asked the physio to test it, and that's when I knew that things weren't great. She goes,
Say something.
Dan, can you come and test
Oh,
this?
no. When
that's
it's friendly fire, like Jack Viney falling across your leg, do you have a chat with him? Does he feel guilty in those sort of scenarios?
Yeah, still haven't got something from Jack.
Oh, really?
No, he did apologise. But to be fair, there's no apology needed. He was going for the ball.
Exactly.
But he actually was just coming back from a medial, and then that was his first game back from an MCL. And
Oh,
then
he gave it to you.
then
He
he
passed
went-
it on.
it's contagious.
Just knee injuries. Max, thanks for coming in. I know you've got a bung knee at the moment, but it's probably looking like 4 to 6, and they'll look after you and get you through. And
That is the famous recovery timeline.
4 to 6,
It
isn't
could
it?
mean anywhere from I'm playing next week to I'm done for the year.
no, you won't be done for the year.
4 to 6. Let's run with 4 to 6.
Now that you're injured, were you tempted to go to Glamour on the Grid? Because
Well, Glamour on the Grid, that was an interesting. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
It's been a thing.
Down at
Oh,
the
what?
track.
So?
Yeah.
I don't know how
Park.
long it's been a thing
Yeah, it's
for.
been for a
few
while.
years. Modern
Yeah.
tradition.
I asked my manager, is there any Grand Prix tickets floating around? And he sent me Wednesday night. I'm like, I don't think it starts till Thursday. And then obviously it did start Wednesday night.
Yeah, glamour on the grid.
Glamour on the grid.
Jamarra Ugle-Hagan kicked 5 yesterday, last night against the Lions, and then in a homage to Nicky Winmar pointed to his stomach. He took some time away from the club on Monday after some pretty vile things were shouted at him over the fence, and then followed up on social media, I believe.
so, yeah.
It's an awful look, isn't it? The whole thing.
I'm sure you've talked about it all week, but yeah, it's not great. It shouldn't have to come to what Jamarra did in 2023.
Because this is 30 years after Nicky Winmar, and we're still pointing at ourselves.
It's crazy, and it's happened time and time again with some of the boys at our football club, especially social media. Social media seems like one where someone can hide behind a fake account.
Yes.
And write something, and it does take a toll on some of these boys. So I'm completely behind Jamarra, and as would I don't want to speak for the whole AFL, but as would the
all
majority
of
of
your
the AFL.
contemporaries would be too.
And hoping that is the last time that something like that has to happen.
Well said. Let's look at the round ahead. Collingwood-Richmond tonight. It feels like Collingwood are just at the top. Well, I mean, they're not top of their form, but they're belting along.
Yeah, they're peaking. Well, hopefully they
Too
peak.
early?
No, they can peak for 25 weeks, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Richmond, I do like as well. I'm bullish on Richmond. They're losing Dusty. I think is Dusty.
There's
not
a
playing?
few out
Not playing,
actually. I
yeah.
think there's 4 or 5 out.
Yeah.
But big game MCG, Richmond always come to play, so that'll be close.
Yeah, that'll
Do
be
you
close.
think, given you were 10-0 last year, do you think peaking too early is a thing, or do you think you want to be playing the best footy the whole time?
It can be a thing. The year before we were 10-0 as well, and then we won
True.
the flag. So yeah, it all. I mean, you do want to be playing your best footy towards the end of the year. Geelong are very good at that, have been for years. But I'm sure they might have a little dip at some point, Collingwood, but then they'll peak at the right time.
Hawthorn North. North, just as we've discussed, look amazing.
They do, don't they?
The lid is off.
Yeah.
Is there a bit on? Is there a bit on the coach not going on the same flight?
I think there's a bit in that.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit of that. Hawthorn look awful too. They look terrible. They look young,
This
inexperienced.
is back at Launceston. We've got a bit of
the home of football.
Yeah, this could be this could be the new line in the sand game. for
Have you
Hawks.
played at Launceston? It's actually a beautiful ground.
I played a practice game there. It is actually very, very nice. It's
I
better
went-
than Hobart has a cricket pitch in the middle, always
Bit rough.
massive wind.
Yeah, the wind. I remember
Yeah.
you would have played in that game that was
Yeah, we were down
30
by
games to 1 in.
down by 50 at quarter time, and then we're up at half time.
Yeah.
It was a crazy
Jesus.
win.
Well, because you were kicking with the wind.
Yeah, Goldstein kicked 5 on me from the ruck. From the ruck.
Very good footballer. GWS Carlton. It feels like Carlton there.
Yeah, but Giants, out of their 2 wins, one of them was at home, and this is back at home, so I'm presuming they're going to play some good footy there. I would go Carlton, though.
St Kilda Bombers will be a belter tomorrow night at 7:25.
2 undefeated teams.
Yeah.
I'm going Saints. I reckon I've liked what I've seen.
Yeah, I tipped the Saints too.
I'm going to change my tip.
You're going to change your tip?
Yep.
Are you allowed to do that? Because there's already been a round played.
Up until the game, you can.
Yeah,
Is
change
that
it.
a fact?
that's how tipping works, I think.
Okay. I thought you had to get them in on,
Yeah, I'd like
on
to be
Thursday
locked.
and that
so
was
you
it.
can cross out your ones, and Will can take a new photo
No
of
way,
yours.
mate.
Okay,
I
great.
stand by what I thought on
I think
Thursday.
that's back like when you actually filled out the cards and you had to hand it in.
Yeah.
Like you go to
around
the
the
pub
office.
and there'd be those giant. I'm sure there's still pubs with them in it.
Yeah, there are.
If you're mailing your tips into the pub.
I prefer to walk them down and have a beer. Port v Adelaide, the showdown.
I always find that disappointing the showdown gets played at the same time as another game. I reckon the showdown's worthy of its own spot. This probably won't even be on Channel 7. They'll probably show the Saints Bombers game, to be honest. So it's going to be, that's disappointing in a way because it's always a great game. I'm going to go Crows.
Crows. I
Really?
think I went Port.
Yeah, but I reckon that's a flip of the coin.
Gold Coast Geelong. Well, you'd think Geelong would be trying to right the ship there.
It'd be great if the Suns win, wouldn't it?
It'd be ridiculous if the Suns win.
Slippery night up there.
Great if the
A
Suns
slippery night up there.
Go
And
the Suns.
your boys, Melbourne, take on Sydney Sunday at the MCG 3:20 kickoff.
Yeah, we've lost 11 of the last 13 against the Swans.
Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
Jeez, I've tipped you boys.
So it's
Including
the
a final last year.
including a final and the game, the home and away game last year. We lost by a goal. They tend to be close, I must admit, but they do match up well against us, and it's a great chance for us to bounce back against a pretty poor performance against the Lions. So
They're also coming back to the MCG after the last time they were there, getting absolutely
That's a good point.
thumped in a grand final.
that's a good point. I'll mention that tomorrow.
Will that motivate them?
Yeah, but it could bring up some sort of memories as well. The
Scars.
first time we went back to Perth after getting thumped in the prelim was a pretty grim experience. I think.
Really?
Yeah. But then
Scars.
we've now won a grand final. It's my favourite ground. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was a time there where I didn't like it.
Mhm.
Are you annoyed that clashes with the Grand Prix?
I just thought about it then. Grand Prix is normally about 4, isn't it?
3
Three, I
o'clock.
think,
Is it
yeah.
actually
3
right
o'clock
on
race
start
start.
time? All right, we'll get 20,000. That'd be great.
7 of which will be Sydney. And then the one that no one cares about, Freo West Coast.
They care over there.
Do they?
The
Well, they're
derby.
not here. Freo West Coast. I've tipped Freo because
This is just their time slot, isn't it? The
Yeah.
Sunday night game.
Yeah.
It's always one of the Perth
5:20
teams.
on a
Yeah.
Sunday night.
It's going to be a good derby. Freo, obviously 0 and 2. I had them in my 4. Did you guys have them in your 8
I had
and stuff?
tippy top, yeah.
Yeah, that's surprising what's happening at the moment. Bit of pressure on my mate Luke, which is unwarranted. Luke, he's a premiership player and almost won the game in the 3rd and 4th quarter off his own ruck work. So I'm sure he'll bounce back. That's Luke Jackson.
Yeah, he was
Left jaw joint.
back page of the West Australian. He's really copying it over there.
Yeah, I think that's what you get when you do sign a big deal over there. But to be fair, I actually don't think he's been. I think he's been okay in a team that's lost both their games. I'm going to go Freo, but West Coast should make a fight of it.
Is the midfielder for Freo back this week?
5.
5?
Yeah, is he
I
back?
think he is back.
Good question.
He had a foot injury, didn't he?
Yeah, plantar fasciitis or something like that.
Plantar fasciitis. I think I went to school with him.
Isn't that a wart? Isn't that
No,
what you
it's
have?
like
plantar
it's the
wart.
ball
Yeah,
of
it
your
is.
foot,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Plantar wart.
It's a bad injury.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it's
takes
actually-
ages to shake off.
But you can sort of play with it, but it gets worse. It's a weird injury.
Nicky.
Well,
Nah,
mate,
looks like he's not playing.
you're not
He's
playing.
not
no.
playing. Okay. Well, then I'll go
Good
West
luck.
Coast.
I don't know why I'm saying good luck. Well, good luck with the rehab.
Yep. I still have to go. I still
Yeah.
have to
Oh,
be
you're still
there.
going to go over?
Yeah, show my face.
Of course.
Wait, hang on. What do you mean go?
just the
It's only at the
MCG.
MCG.
Yeah, it's a big trip. I died Grand Prix tickets. I told you that before.
What do you mean you still got to go? Lovely to see you, Max.
Lovely to see you.
Max Gawn with us.